What's going on, everybody? Richie here, Hybrid Athletics. Although today I do got the work uniform on, so I guess you call me Blue Collar Gains. Just putting in work every day. Work days, rest days, it doesn't matter. Working hard, making progress, that's what it's all about. Although this actually isn't my work uniform, I just wear this on my off days where I go do my mom's yard and I do my yard. Just in case someone drives by and the yard just looks amazing, they want me to add them as a client, I just try to represent a little bit. Anyways, in case you were wondering why I started saying that blue collar gains, I'm not sure if blue collar is a term that's used worldwide, so I don't know if you're like out of country and it means something different. There's like two types of workers that we refer to. One is white collar, and the other is blue collar. White collar would be like desk jobs, like corporate jobs, corporations, like a stock trader or something like that. And blue collar jobs, is like manual laborers, guys that work outside, that do construction, landscaping, jobs where you work hard, pretty much doing manual labor. It could be, working at a tire shop, working on cars, things like that. And I'm a blue collar worker. I'm a blue collar guy, That's why you see how I carry myself, you see how I act. I'm not all too caught up on, looking all pretty. That's not the main reason why I train, right? I train to be strong, functional, and then I let my body just sort of be a result of the way that I train. And so that's where the whole blue collar gains thing comes into play. And being a blue collar guy, I feel like you have to train a certain way. Right? You have to train a certain way. If you want it to be optimal, at least, you got to sort of adjust the way you train because, we're not sitting around at a desk all day, just itching, waiting to get off so we can go hit the gym at 5:30 or 6 o'clock, right? It's not exactly like that because even the times that we're working, we're working hard. It's still like training. It's like doing cardio. It's like doing strength training. So I feel like it needs to be adjusted accordingly. So I came up with a few realizations recently. I posted about this on my Instagram. It's at Hybrid Athletics, and I made a post about it, so you can go check it out there. But I just wanted to elaborate a little more here as well on some of the things that I've realized regarding exercise selection, frequency, volume, recovery, and fatigue management. And this is specifically for natural athletes, right? Because the rules that I use, they're not going to apply to people who do drugs. Just go somewhere else. If you're on drugs, you can go follow any bodybuilder who's doing a bunch of fluff and pump bullshit and get great muscular development from that. I'm not sure how well it's going to carry over into everything else in your life. I'm not sure if it's going to help you become like a better fighter. Like, you can do all the curls you want, but I'm still probably going to kick your fucking ass, you know what I'm saying, if we get into an altercation. Just saying, you don't have the tendon strength or the cardio to deal with someone like me. And it's okay, not everyone's like that. Not everyone's built like that. But anyways, let me go into some of these things that I've realized, right? And I'm specifically doing this towards, people who work physically demanding jobs and are natural athletes. So one thing that I wanted to talk about was exercise selection. So focusing on heavy compound movements, right? Even if you're trying to get big and get strong, I still wouldn't recommend doing like a bodybuilding style routine. And again, a lot of the guys that you follow, maybe on Instagram or YouTube, whatever, that focus on bodybuilding or just obtaining a specific look, right? Like they're really like obsessed with looking a certain way. You got to be careful of these guys. And the thing is, because you can get a certain look and not know how to train at all. You could suck at training completely and still look good as long as you're taking the right amount of drugs, right? So be careful, of these guys who are obsessed with looks, because when you become obsessed with looks and you'll do anything to look good, at a certain point, it might not be about training anymore. It might be about the amount of drugs that you need to take to obtain that look. And there's a lot of them out there, and I can't quite confirm, but there's a lot of these guys. And anyways, they're doing arm routines, shit like that, The truth is that some people can benefit from doing you know, arm isolation exercises, but for the most part, you can get extremely well-developed arms and strong arms, very strong arms, without doing any direct isolation work. If you're just doing weighted pull-ups, weighted chin-ups, you know, you're doing standing press, you're doing bench press, weighted dips, none of those are specifically just isolating and targeting one of these little ass fucking muscles, little being relative to the rest of your body, you know what I'm saying? Screw up, I gotta get closer to say this shit, this is important. You know, it's not, you are hitting these muscles, you're hitting the biceps, you're hitting the long head of the tricep, you're hitting the short head of the tricep, but you're also hitting many, many more muscles. Not to mention getting these deep stabilizer muscles as well. So, you know, it's almost like, why spend 20 minutes doing this movement, which is gonna hit this little ass muscle, when you could spend 20 minutes doing a weighted chin up, getting brutally fucking strong, and then also developing your lats, your rear delts, your upper back, right? The rhomboids, the traps. You know, you're hitting all these other muscle groups, not to mention you're hitting your core, right? And the bicep, and even hitting a little bit of the tricep, chest. Yes, you hit chest when you do chin-ups, believe it or not. It's not a lot, and I wouldn't recommend using that as your only chest movement. You're gonna have a very underdeveloped chest in relation to the rest of your body, but you'll still will hit your chest to some degree, right? So the main point being, why spend 20 minutes doing a curl when you can spend 20 minutes hitting the same muscle that a curl will target, but also hit many other muscle groups? So getting the most bang for your buck, right? So what exercises should you be doing? Weighted chin-ups, weighted pull-ups, standing press, bench press, weighted dips, squats, deadlifts. You can hit your whole body with that. You can hit your whole body doing only those movements right there, right? So that should be your main focus. Like if you have to go to work and you're about to go bust your ass for 10 hours, you know, in that heat, and you got 20 minutes to get it in, do one of those. Build your way up to a heavy working set, maybe do one back off set, you're good. You're good for the day. Don't push too hard. This is another point I want to get into, talk about exceeding maximum recoverable volume. Because if you exceed your maximum recoverable volume, you won't be able to train again frequently. You'll have DOMS, you'll have delayed onset muscle soreness. You might not be able to get into the gym as frequently as possible. And the key to making gains as a natural athlete is frequency, right? It's volume and frequency, but not exceeding your maximum recoverable volume. So what does that mean? That means don't go into the gym and annihilate your entire body. I keep dropping my fucking phone. Don't go into the gym and annihilate your body, right? So that means, you know, maybe instead of doing back and biceps, just hit your back. That little bit of bicep, you know, those curls, you know, it might make up 1%. Now, maybe a little more. It might add maybe 5 to 10% of your total arm development. But you're going to get more at doing those weighted chin-ups than you are from those curls. Much more. And maybe if you have time after, you could add that bicep curl in, right? Here's the problem. If you throw in those bicep curls and your biceps get sore and you're not able to hit those weighted chin-ups as frequently as you could because you have delayed onset muscle soreness, you robbed yourself of gains. You robbed yourself of gains because you could have went and did full body 48 hours later and continue that muscle protein synthesis. And right now, that's what I'm doing. I'm hitting full body as frequently as possible, right? Because ideally, you want to be able to make the maximum gains as a natural. You want to hit full body every day, 7 days a week, maybe 6. Give yourself 1 day to really rest, true rest day. And most people will be like, Rich, that's stupid. You're not supposed to hit full body every day. We know this. You're supposed to, you know, hit one muscle group per week and let it and just destroy it and let it and give it time to recover. No, that's not what the studies show, right? That's not what the Norwegian study shows. The Norwegian study shows that people who train frequently, every day, full body every day, make the most muscle and strength gains. The thing is, they're not pushing it to failure. They're stimulating muscle growth, and they're continuing muscle protein synthesis by hitting it every single day, right? And they're never destroying themselves to the point where they're not recovered for the next session. Now that's under a study. That's under perfect conditions, right? Here, I'm talking about studies now. Look at me. What a fucking nerd I am now, right? Look, the studies show. No, but dead ass, guys. That is what they show. And there's a time and place to use studies as a good example. But that's in a perfect situation. You'd be able to train full body every day. Well, I'll tell you what, it doesn't necessarily need to be perfect. I work a manual labor job and I'm able to hit full body almost every single day. How? How am I doing press, bench, deadlifts, squats, weighted dips, weighted chin-ups, face pulls, core work? How am I doing that all every single day? Well, I'm not. Because you don't need to hit all of those to hit full body every single day. You don't. If you hit press and deadlifts, you're hitting every single muscle in your body. You're hitting every single muscle in your body to a certain degree. Maybe not biceps. Unless you do a mixed grip on every set, in which case you might be hitting your biceps a little bit as well. In that case, you might throw in some face pulls, you might throw in some pull-ups or something like that. But let me give you a perfect example. This is the split that I'm using, roughly, because it kind of varies every week, because I just kind of got to get it in where it fits in at some points. But try this. Press and deadlifts. That's day 1. Day 2, weighted chin-ups and squats. Day 3, bench press and face pulls. That's full body. That's full body almost every single day. At least you hit full body on those first 2 days. And if you really want to have a full body every day, bench press and deadlifts 1 day. Squats, press, weighted chin-ups the next day. You're pretty much hitting full body both days, right? Because press will hit your chest, right? Press is hitting your triceps. Bench press is hitting your chest, your triceps, your deltoids, and so is press. So on both those days, you're hitting all the muscles that are involved in pushing. On both those days, deadlifts hit your lats. Deadlifts grow your lats. So on the day you did deadlifts, you grew your lats. On the day you did weighted chin-ups, you grew your lats. You're hitting your biceps when you're doing weighted chin-ups. You're even hitting your chest when you do weighted chin-ups to a small degree. Obviously, both squats are hitting your full leg. Deadlifts are hitting your legs. You're hitting full body both those workouts to a certain degree. All the muscles in your body are getting targeted to a certain degree. Your core is definitely getting targeted from doing squats and press, and deadlifts and chin-ups. I mean, your core is just getting hit all day. So it's just a perfect example, right? So that's where it comes down to exercise selection, focusing on those. And then if you have a lagging muscle group, go ahead. Go ahead and throw in some accessory moves based upon, if you have you're just limited genetically. Your arms just won't grow, and it's really important to you, and you really want your arms to grow. Sure, throw in some arms. I'm not gonna say don't throw in arms. I don't hit arms. Having really big arms is not one of my top priorities. Also, I have pretty good arm genetics. So, my arms just kind of grow. My arms want to take over every movement. When I hit bench press, I feel like my triceps. I'm a limb dominant person. Many people aren't. I'll tell you what, it's not all it's cracked up to be. Sometimes I wish I had a bigger chest, but it's getting there. It's coming up, If that's you, you might want to throw in some cable flies, something like that. Throw in some extra chest work. Go ahead. It's your life. It's your life. Anyways, those are pretty much the main things that I've been focusing on. So it's like, exercise selection, training frequently, trying to hit full body as often as possible. There's going to be days where you don't have time. It's okay to just do weighted chin-ups before you go to work. It's okay to just hit bench press before you go to work. You know, it's okay to just hit deadlifts. I wouldn't do it. I try to at least schedule my deadlifts on a day where I have off and have like a day or two before I have to go back to work. That's just me personally, because you know that's the hardest thing to recover from is the deadlifts. Of course, you know, it's not always ideal, but sometimes I have to hit deadlifts the day before I gotta go, you know, service 35 properties, mowing 35 yards. You know, it's gonna be fucking rough, but you know, it would be a lot more rough missing out on these gains. That's more rough. Being weak, that's more rough. I'd rather get stronger, you know what I'm saying? And then make sure that I have at least one day that's like a true rest day where I'm not overexerting myself. And that's today. As you can see, I'm sweating. I broke a sweat. I did a little bit of low intensity steady state. You know, I mowed my mom's yard. I'm going to do mine here in a little bit. To me, that is a rest day. 2 yards, that's nothing, you know? That's a joke. And I feel like it's good. And I can still kind of kick back, relax, drink a couple beers, enjoy my life. You know, and to me, at the end of the day, that's what being a blue-collar dude is kind of all about. You know, you work hard, you enjoy yourself. I feel like I still look good. I get compliments almost every day on how I'm looking, and I'm like, wow, I'm eating whatever I want. You know, I'm just lifting heavy. I'm doing heavy compound movements, no fluff and pump, no wasting time in the gym, no bullshit. You know, I'd rather spend that time stretching and doing mobility and flexibility than doing that fluff and pump shit. Because it's a waste of time to me personally, for me and my goals in my life. Yeah, and at the end of the day, you just don't want to exceed your maximum recoverable volume. You're trying to train as frequently as possible while still feeling fresh, if you can. And there's going to be days where you're sore, and you go hit it anyway. And you hit squats one day, and the next day you say, damn, my lower back, hamstrings, quads, and glutes are kind of sore. Should I hit deadlifts? I do. I hit them, and you know what? It usually makes me feel better. Isn't that weird? It makes me feel better. I feel like it helps facilitate the healing process. So these are just a few observations I made, and I want to share them with you. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead and leave me a like. Don't forget to subscribe. Any questions or comments, leave them in the box below. Follow me on Instagram at Hybrid Athletics, and you'll see where I post stuff like this. And I'll talk to you next time. All right, take it easy.